impossible.
So we teachers have to understand that sometimes our students are not ready to learn. This is the example here happening. My wife is distracted. I'm trying to explain, and she's distracted. She's playing with the phone. It happens a lot with my students. What to do? Be patient. We need to be ready because it could happen that while we are talking, our students all of a sudden just leave the room, they walk out, they get distracted. Maybe there is something more interesting happening. In this case, I believe my wife does not need to connect with nature through different conceptual maps. And I'm trying to explain these conceptual maps that have to do with logic. Her union to nature transcends logic. So I have to patiently wait until she's ready to come back and learn. So it doesn't matter if we like physics or not. We are all body-mind systems, regardless of our interest in nature, and we are all exposed to this energy that comes into our body-mind through the 5 elements of nature. And with that element, we can do some work. With that energy, we can do some work. Energy used for a purpose is work. Now, how does energy come to our bodies? Earth, through the sense of smell, molecules of the earth. Water, through the sense of taste, water in the food that we eat. Air that we breathe, the sense of touch, skin connects us to the air. Light that comes from the sun, we see light, sense of sight. So 5 systems of perception, and space is the 5th. Vibrations that reach our brains through space. The sense of hearing connected to space. So we are connected regardless of our enthusiasm for physics. We're all connected to nature, whether we like it or not. Now, let's look at the actions. Let's look at the works that we can do and how they connect to Earth. We move. We use our legs to move through Earth. So one of the things we can do as human beings is move our legs to travel the Earth. Our hands, most fluid system of action, connects to the water element. So many things we can do with our hands. Talking, making the air vibrate, connecting our body to the air by an action. And space, the connection between our body to space is through the nervous system, and the action is thinking. 25% of the energy that we take from the universe, we use it on average to think. And then the system for reproduction and elimination of all the food that we eat, connected to the fire element in our bodies. So there are also 5 outputs, 5 actions that we all do, all human beings, we all share this ability to do work, and all the work that we do is one of those 5. What else can we say about our connection with nature? We are not connected to nature, we are nature. We are one with nature. But we can think of it as inside our body, the microcosmos, and outside our body, all the cycles, the big cycles of nature, the macrocosmos. So 2 ways of exploring outwards and inwards, one nature. Remember, it's all one nature. We're just trying to understand it better, so we separate it. Let's look inside our bodies, connection to the earth. Let's look at the systems inside the body, the skeleton, the muscular system, the mechanical systems of the body, obviously connect us to the gravitational field of the earth. To the sun, we are connected by the heat, fire of digestion, right? We transform food into heat in the digestive system. The energy that comes from the sun indirectly becomes part of our body energy when we eat. With the water, the circulatory system is the connection, no? The liquid element in our body, and the gaseous element, the air, is the respiratory system. So when we look inside, the body will find air in the respiratory system. And all the electricity, all the electromagnetic energy that comes from the universe is reflected in our nervous system. So inside our bodies, 5 systems connected to 5 elements of nature. Now, what happens outside our bodies? We're looking at big cycles. Cycles like, for example, the cycle of light transforming, light into food, the photosynthesis process, right? And that food that comes into our bodies, bringing the solar energy, that's called photosynthesis, the transformation of light into matter. Another big cycle is, photosynthesis, I just mentioned photosynthesis. Another big cycle is the water cycle, the evaporation of water, becoming rain, becoming part of our bodies, the carbon cycle, the nitrogen cycle connected to the air, rock cycles also connected to the earth, and all these cycles are just part of the big cycle of nature, which is the universe, the biggest system. We call it universe. There are 5 elements in nature. We can think of ourselves as a system, a body-mind system that is open to the universe. And from the universe, we perceive energy through 5 systems of perception. We do actions through 5 systems of actions. Very interesting. There is only 5 systems of actions. And inside our body, we can study 5 systems that connect us to nature, and outside our bodies, 5 cycles that connect us to nature. And then we're going to look again at the topics in physics that connect with each element of nature. For this, there are 25, 5 by 5, 25 empty spaces here that need to be completed with 25 words that are written here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to complete this matrix magically in one click, and then I am going to start erasing and explaining why I put everything in that position. So that's the full matrix, 25 words completed in the 25 spaces provided. Now, of course, I would like you to challenge this. I don't want you to believe that this is true, because we don't encourage faith in science. We encourage doubt. So please doubt, discuss. The nose connects the sense of smell, right? We smell flowers, we smell poop, we smell molecules that come from the earth. The air or the water does not have any smell. What smells are molecules that come from the earth. The sense of taste makes a lot of sense. The tongue, the salivary glands. We eat only food that contains water. So that's very straightforward. The sense of sight also, light coming from the sun. Of course, we see the earth, we see the ocean, but what we see essentially is light. Light that interacts with matter. So light, ice, and sun are connected. The sense of touch, the skin, is the largest organ in the body, and it is our connection to the air, right? Through the skin, we perceive the touch, the heat coming out and into the body also. And finally, the sense of hearing, which have to be connected to the space element. This is interesting. Our ears connect the 2 hemispheres of the brain always. Even when we are sleeping, our nervous system is connected to the outside space through the ears. We cannot close our ears like we close our eyes, right? Even when we are asleep, they call your name and you wake up, right? So the nervous system is connected to the ears. And in fact, what goes into the nervous system is an electromagnetic wave. Going down, 5 actions. And this is another thing that I want you to doubt. Could there be any action that is not here? A combination of these actions. Now, what is action? Action is energy used for a purpose. An action has a purpose, right? The purpose of thinking. The brain, 1% of the mass of the body, uses 25% of the energy. The brain is a big organ of action. We get paid to think, right? Tongue, I get paid to talk. The tongue makes the air vibrate. So it was connected like that, the action of talking with the element air. Reproduction and elimination, genitals, connected to fire. Obviously, I don't have to explain that. And then manual work, the hands as a system of actions, the most fluid system of actions. We can do so many things with our hands. We can write, we can kill, we can heal, we can create art. Any work that we do with our hands connected to the element water, and our legs providing movement. The action of moving is connecting us to the earth. Our legs connect us to the earth and let us move through the earth. So those are the 5 actions, right? Let's go up from here. What are the systems inside our body? That means the microcosmos that connects us to the elements of nature. Well, our mechanical system in the body, our skeleton, muscular system, obviously, is our connection to earth. The circulatory system, how the water flows inside the body, the connection to the water element. Reproduction and digestive system, the heat, the transformation of food into energy is the digestive system, and energy into life, reproduction system, right? The respiratory system, the connection between our body and the air, very obvious. And the nervous system inside our body, connection with space, you know. In the nervous system, we have all these trillions of neurons interconnecting with each other through electromagnetic waves, electrons jumping from one neuron to the next one. That's the microcosmos. Looking into the macrocosmos, we can think of the biggest system of all, or the biggest cycle in nature, the universe, as an open system, as a cycle. The nitrogen cycle connected to the air, remember that 70% of the air is nitrogen, and nitrogen cycles in nature. It comes into our bodies as protein in molecules, right? And goes back to the air. Nitrogen cycle, photosynthesis, the cycle of the solar energy, the transformation of light into matter. We call that cycle photosynthesis, connected to sun. The water cycle, we are all parts of these cycles, right? Connected to water. And the carbon cycle connected to earth. So all these cycles that are outside of our bodies connect us with nature and with the elements of nature. And the topics are in physics, mechanics with the earth, the motion, the bodies, the force, hydraulics with water, heat and thermal energy with the sun, gases with air, and electromagnetism, astrophysics, quantum physics, nuclear physics, connected with space. There, because nature makes sense. Nature is love. So let's do it very quickly. This is what you have to do. Okay? Good luck. Remember, you are not connected to the universe. You are, in fact, one with the universe. There is no separation, therefore there is no connection. You are one with this universe. This universe exists because you're here to perceive it. I always said that to become a teacher, one needs to have a big ego, because you are in front of the class and students are all looking at you and listening at you. But it's also true that if you become a teacher, you will find many opportunities to smash your ego. And the only hope that remains is that your students will one day come back and look at these conceptual maps and finally say, I got it. I stand under nature, therefore I understand nature.